Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my end of July garden. This is just a snapshot in time. This is what the garden is looking like. What's today's date? July 24th, 2025. We had a heavy thunderstorm overnight, which was much needed. We have been going through a heat wave. I know a lot of people have been experiencing the same where they are, and we were very thankful for the rain, although some of my pots got knocked over in the back. My husband told me this morning, I haven't been back there yet to look, but and he also said my alliums just got completely bent over, and those were ready to go. Oh geez, I forgot to put I had taken my living wreath off of the door because it was kind of kaput with those pansies and violas, and I forgot to put a wreath back on. Hold on, let me get a wreath. There we go, that's better. I just put a faux eucalyptus wreath up. I did have my living wreath up for quite a while and was really loving that, but it did not survive the hot weather, so I disassembled it and I'll put it together probably next year. Here's my front porch and all my container plantings for the summer season. Let's go in and take a closer look. My geranium, this is a zonal geranium called Moonlight Light Salmon. Here's my Bada Boom begonia. It's a pink Bada Boom begonia. I planted those up the other day. And this is a beautiful container. I've been really happy with this Cleome hybrid. Isn't that gorgeous? There's not one leaf that's damaged or brown or anything like that. And the blooms, it just continually opens and blooms. This is a proven winners. It's called Senorita Rosalita. It's really beautiful. Nice and full. And I have underneath that proven winners icicles. It's kind of getting drowned out by that Cleome hybrid. And I also have a lantana called Pink Bandana. Oh, Lucy is wanting to come outside with me. Not just yet, Lou. We'll wait till we get in the backyard, okay? Yeah, no. Because you're going to start misbehaving, I just know it. And then right up here, I have another container here I've been really happy with. This is the Graceful Grasses Skyrocket, which is really pretty. I love the variegation on that, and it's just really grew up really well. Shot out those plumes, and I know it's going to look beautiful into the fall. And I do have underneath that, it's Proven Selections Lemon Licorice. And I also have a Coral Bells in there called Indian Summer Orangeberry. Coral Bells, and that'll be beautiful for the fall as well. I do also have Super Bells Coral Sun hidden in here somewhere, and I think it is getting not enough sun. See, you can see it peeking through there. Let's see if I can turn the container a little bit and show you. See, Super Bells Coral Sun hanging out in there. I actually thought about switching these two containers, putting this one up there and this one down here. I think I might do that later. And then just the same on the other side. Mostly the same. Down below I do have a Gerber Daisy that I just trimmed the spent blooms, so maybe it'll be shooting up some new blooms there. That was just a cream colored Gerber Daisy, and I do have a pot of violas here still that's looking pretty good, so I just left that in place. And there is the Bada Boom begonia that I just planted up. In this bed here, I just have Emerald Gaiety Euonymus. This is the Golden Globe Arborvitae. I have two of those here, and a Creeping Juniper. This is my flaming carpet sedum. Love those colors. Let's take a look at my arrangement on the front porch. It's looking pretty good. Let's take a closer look. In this container, I just have a purple fountain grass, and right next to that, I have the Sedona Sunset Coleus. I always love the color of this Coleus. Look at that. Oh, there's my little friend. Just give me a few minutes, Lou, okay? I love the color of the Sedona Sunset Coleus, and that will transition to the fall for me. Creeping Jenny, banana cherry petunia, and just an English ivy. I want to say this one's called Baltic. Let's see. Oh, Glacier. English ivy. It's called Glacier. I'll show you what my window box is looking like right now. You can see it has filled in quite a bit, and I was going to come through and replace some of the pansies and violas that I had left. I haven't done that yet, but you can see I love the petunia, how it's filled out and kind of draped down, you know, as kind of like a trailing effect in the front of the planter. But what I have here is fireworks grass that's in the center here with some Truffula pink gomphrena, and you can see how that's kind of lightly sitting and spreading itself throughout the container. And I also have a petunia, dark Saturn petunia. I do have a Dichondra Silver Falls on the end there. And like I had mentioned, just a mix of colors of they look like mostly violas here. I don't think I have any pansies going on. And over here, I'm not quite sure, this gomphrena kind of like moved forward on me. It almost looks like something like sat in there. But anyways, this one's kind of coming forward a bit. And then you can see my osteospermum, the Blue-Eyed Beauty osteospermum is in there, doing well. Really beautiful. Oh, look at that. So pretty. If you can hear the little birds up here, I do have a family of swallows. I don't know if you could catch them. They are kind of living right underneath the eave there. And there's a nest, you know, they hatched their little babies, and they did fly the nest, but they all still kind of hang out in this one corner of my house. And in the evening hours, they just come out and they have a ball together. They just fly all around and interact with each other and sing their little hearts out, and it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Emerald Gaiety Euonymus, looking good. My dwarf Alberta spruce, you can see the brown color. I think I mentioned in a previous video, I'm dealing with some spider mites. Oh, that's my Lucy. She's barking at a dog that's taking a walk. But you can see this is what spider mite damage can look like. You see the webbing that forms on your plant, and you can also see the browning effect, the overall browning effect that it's having on the shrub. This was a really beautiful green shrub last year, so we're fighting the spider mites this year. We've been just hosing them off and also using neem oil. We put several applications on, and we had a really heavy rainfall overnight, so it probably hosed everything off for today. But you know, we're just struggling with that a little bit in our garden this year. Some more Golden Globe Arborvitae. some spent Stella de Oro daylily, and also kind of spent looking Junior Walker catmint. Usually I've already cut these down, and I really have to come in and do that. Sometimes you can just look into the center of the plant and see if it's putting out some new growth. Not really this year, just a little bit. Everything's been so slow this year. But I can definitely come back and just cut these back and get that second flush. You can see I have a couple of those with a few more daylilies. There's really no pollinators out at the moment, but I have been seeing so many this season. I think that heavy rainstorm, they just probably took cover. And I just have my celebration maple tree over here. This is my celebration maple tree. There's such a nice breeze in the air this morning. Such a nice change from the hot weather. This is my little cottage garden. It's been filling out beautifully this year. I've been really happy with it. Always looking to improve though. It takes time. I did have to pull out some of the cut flowers that I planted that just kind of died. I pulled out some of these here. This is my last one standing. This is a bachelor's button called the Bride from Botanical Interest. That was really pretty. But you can see it's kind of dying out there on the bottom. Blue cushion English lavender. This here is a Shasta daisy. That should bloom for me next year, but looking really healthy. I just tucked some right inside almost of the lavender. And I've got some bachelor's button blue boy. This is a sedum. I'll put the name up. I planted that last year. You can see some really pretty little gold star Rudbeckia, and backed by the echinacea coneflower, looking really beautiful, and some bachelor's button. There's more blue boy here, and I also have black magic over here. Oh, there's a little pollinator. You can see a little bee. Lucy, wait for me, okay? She came out the back door now. Wait for me. Rockin' playing the blue salvia has been beautiful. I'm so glad I tried this salvia out. It is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, I love the color of the leaf and the color, the shade of purple. It's like a, would you describe that as an indigo purple? It's just really pretty, and as long as it's watered, it is gorgeous. It doesn't like to not be, watered, so I try to get out here and throw a little water on it every day. I do have my clematis that's spent and kind of past its flush. There's one little sad bloom happening there. This is Clematis Haldine. So it really did look beautiful in the early summer. What else do I have here? I did plant up some celosia or celosia recently. I think this was part of at my local nursery, they had 6 packs for 75 cents. This one's called New Look, Celosia New Look. Oh, I hear a little bumblebee making noise over here. I'm also loving my snapdragon. My snapdragons, aren't they beautiful? I don't have many, but oh my goodness, how I have been loving these. These are snapdragon, they're called Orange Wonder. Oh, there's a little bee. And they're from Botanical Interest, and I planted them using the winter sowing method. Oops, I'm getting in this bee's way, I think. Like I said, these were planted using the winter sowing method, and I thought they turned out beautifully. I guess I should probably clip some if I want them to come again, because they are a cut and come again, but oh my gosh, I just love them. Really happy with them. I do have right next to that some container variety lavender from American Seed that I also winter sowed, and that's looking very healthy. You can see I have another clematis, Haldine, on the other side here that's, like I said, all bloomed out. And I do have a reseeded spirea that's also all bloomed out. But I think even those aged blooms can have an interesting look in the garden. And I just picked these up the other day. What is it? I can't remember. Gaillardia, is it? Let's see, yes. This one's called Arizona Sun. Really pretty. And I also picked up this color here, which I thought was really interesting. Another Gaillardia. Let's see, does that one have a tag? It does. Let me turn it around. This one's called Arizona Apricot. Look at that. And I thought even when the bloom ages out, look how interesting that is. So I kind of just placed them here. I've been watering them, but I think I'm probably going to stick them in the ground right there. And I think they'll look pretty. There's just a lot of different colors kind of going on here, and I'm continually adding to it. I know I have like a big front block here that I can continually add to. That brick there is for when we open our fenced door. We just kind of stick it there if we want to keep it open. And I just have some more echinacea back in here. This pot here, look at this. I think this is a Shasta daisy, possibly, that's going to be blooming. But I have a bunch of weeds, I think, in this pot for some reason. And I didn't pick them initially because I wasn't sure what they were, but I think they're weeds. Some more Blue Boy Bachelor's Button, just in that pot there. Also winter stone. And this was just a mix, a cut flower mixed blend that's starting to bloom that I just have in this little pot here. And you can see just the different things. I'm not sure what everything is called, but I think it's just kind of looking beautiful. There's a little pink bloom back there. I'm sure somebody might know what all of these flowers are called. I'll put the list up of what, there was a list of all the different types of flowers in this one seed packet. And that was also from Botanical Interest. I just opened the door to the back garden here, and we'll just take a walk in back here and see what's going on. I have my Generous Gardener Climbing Rose, which it did have a really pretty flush in June. I just close that gate behind me. And you can see it's starting to put up some new growth, and you can see some new buds are beginning to open here. Still getting used to. This rose is still, you know, adjusting. I planted it in April of 2024. Not much going on this side, but that's what that's looking like here. My arborvitae hedge still struggling. Starting to sprinkle a little bit. I just planted these Pinka Blue Palminaria. Look looking pretty good. Yeah, it is starting to rain a little bit. Let's just keep going together. My little lime hydrangea. And this Astilbe, I always say the name wrong. I think I always want to say Over the Moon Astilbe, but it's Dark Side of the Moon Astilbe. And I'm loving this plant. It's gorgeous, and the blooms were actually a nice pink color, and they just faded out, but highly recommend the Dark Side of the Moon Astilbe. And see, there's a little orange leaf. I think that dropped over from the birch tree. Okay, it's really starting to rain, guys. I might have to come back. I don't want my phone to get all wet. I'll come back in a little bit when it stops raining. Okay, I'm back after the rain, and we are just still back by my shed. I'm just walking towards the shed. I'm going to show you my window boxes and also the spirea that are all bloomed out. They're called Neon Flash. It's a beautiful spirea. You can see most of it is spent. Grew pretty large this year though. There are still some blooms trying to push forth there, but for the most part it's done right now. And just taking a look at the window box here, I have an osteospermum in the center. It's called Bright Lights. It's Proven Winners variety. And on either side, I have Vinca vine trailing down. There's a yellow, I believe it's a yellow Superbell's Calibrachoa. I'll put the name up. Look at that beautiful osteospermum. Isn't that pretty? I love the white color. Yeah, it's a yellow Calibrachoa. Can't think of the name offhand. And then on the other side, I just have a wave petunia. A rose wave petunia, and I think there are some pansies still in there too, and Vinca vine on the end there. Yeah, I'm just checking the name on that petunia. Easy Wave Rose Petunia. And I'm just being very careful as I step down here because I have fallen off this ledge before and sprained my ankle. So I'm always really careful when I'm stepping up and down here now. And you can see the same combination on the other side. And we're just gonna walk around the corner here and just take a look at what's blooming over here, what's looking beautiful. This is a winter sown bachelor's button. It's called Black Magic, and I don't think I would try this one or plant this one again. I wasn't a huge fan of the color. I didn't really like the dark color, and it grew quite tall, and I just thought it looked kind of messy, so I don't think I would repeat that in my garden. Right next to it, I have the Dolce Wildberry Heuchera. I am a big fan of this Heuchera. It's a Proven Winners variety, and it has a beautiful leaf, a very hardy looking leaf, and it shoots up, I think they're pink colored blooms if I can remember correctly. It's currently not, blooming right now, but looking wonderful. And this is my Endless Summer Bloomstruck. Really looking great right now. Look at those blooms. They're just really colorful and large. I really think the spot right next to the shed suits them well because they're kind of protected from, any harsh wind, and they get some, I think they get some morning sun, I want to say, and then end up being shaded in the afternoon, and that just really suits them well. There's just a shot of the weeds from feeding the birds. So these are some happy hydrangeas that I have right here. And even the new blooms that are just starting out look pretty perfect with that chartreuse green color. And I'm just showing you my container here. Another container that I put together. The volume will be coming back in this next clip, but I have Artist Blue Azuratum. That's the purple flower there. And I've combined that with some Vinca Vine. And I also used the Curly Whirly Grass. It's the Proven Winners Curly Whirly Grass. I really like that grass. It's actually a perennial in my zone, but this plant spreads by rhizomes. So the rhizomes are like the underground stems that produce roots. So I don't plant it in the ground because I don't want it to get aggressive. And then here I am just showing you, I keep trying to think of the name of this flower here and I couldn't remember it, but it's the Blue Moon Punch. So I think I go and check the name of that. I grabbed the tag. It's the Superbell's Blue Moon Punch. Blue Moon Punch. So you can see they are very healthy looking, but they've just been severely rained on, so they're just kind of recovering from that heavy rainstorm. And then if you can see, okay, I used the ornamental grasses in my front yard as my thrillers. I just kind of grabbed different patches of ornamental grasses. Now, I don't know what I planted here as a thriller because this was not in my front yard. It almost looks like I planted corn, doesn't it? I have no idea. I just grabbed a small patch of ornamental grass from my front bed where I have my spruce trees. I think I've showed you that before. If you are familiar with my channel, one of my garden hacks is to use my ornamental grasses as thrillers in my container. But I honestly, this is kind of funny. I don't know what this is that I planted. So we will see as the season goes on. You know, maybe it's just a giant weed that I put in there. Wouldn't doubt that I would do that. That's hilarious. Anyway, just walking up behind the shed here, I have, this is a new rose that I planted. Summer Romance by Heirloom Roses. You can see it's brand new, so it's not looking great. It's been eaten by some things, but it is putting out some new red growth, and it's going to take some time to get established. So I look forward to that. I had gone to a clearance liquidation sale for a plant nursery nearby and picked up several things. I picked up this arborvitae here, two of them, Full Speed Ahead, American Pillar Arborvitae. They were $15. Don't they look beautiful? I should have picked up more, but I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put those yet, but I'm really, really happy with that purchase. Just another little, this is a mystery grass. I don't really know what type of ornamental grass that is, but that started growing in my garden a couple years ago, and I just took a clump of it and put it here. I'll show you really quickly. I showed you in my last video what I purchased at the liquidation nursery sale. A bunch of hydrangeas, and I'll be planting those up as the season goes on. So I won't get into those right now, but that's what I have just kind of hanging out back here. My little shed that used to be a playhouse for my boys that I just keep some garden things in now. A couple of old pots hanging out back here too. Look at the pine cones too up here on this Fat Albert blue spruce. Isn't that beautiful? Oh wow, so pretty. There was a bird's nest too. I think it was in this tree earlier in the season. Let me just come around here. Yep, I see it in there. Oh no, let's see if I can find it. This is such a prickly tree. Oh gosh, those pine cones. Those pine cones are just to die for, aren't they? Just, I mean, oh gosh, look at that. Really pretty. I don't know if I can find that bird's nest. Crimson Cutie Barberry. Kind of looking beautiful this time of year. They take a little bit of time in my garden to look good. You know, in the spring, even the early summer, they're not looking too good. And then, once the summer starts rolling around, they're looking better. My Vanderwolf pine, I really have been loving this tree. Both my husband and I really do love it. It's just a nice statement, a nice statement piece in the garden. Okay, here I do have an allium that's standing. Look at this. This is a gladiator allium. I planted these in the fall. I was raving about them in my early July garden tour, and it's changed quite a bit. It's browned, but still just so magnificent looking. Like, that's just so cool. I took the foliage, removed the foliage earlier in the month, and just let it stand on its own. Really loving it. Oh, I do see where my husband was telling me that a couple of them just got knocked over. So here they are knocked over. I will save these though, because I'll do something with them, I think. I'll just set these right here for now. Wow. It was some storm last night. And there's one kind of hiding out back here. See? Just kind of turn that. Look how pretty that looks. Just sitting in between the Crimson Cutie Barberry. And then this is a summerific hardy hibiscus. This is called Berry Awesome from Proven Winners. This one is getting ready to put some blooms forth. That is going to be super exciting. You can see right back there, I've got a white rose of Sharon that's just starting out. So hopefully that will keep doing well for me. I do have a phlox here, and I will put the name up. Not that it looks like anything special, but I think this one keeps getting eaten by the rabbits. So I might have to come back with a cloche or a cloche of some kind and protect that, because I feel like every time it puts up some new growth, it just gets eaten down. A miscanthus grass of sorts. And I do have another container here. You know what? Let me take you back to this container, because I don't think I showed you. Oh, first of all, look at, I have this was my sedge grass. This was Feather Falls. They totally died this year. Totally died. Can't even explain that, because they were in the garden for probably 2 years, looking good, and then they just went kaput. Not sure what happened there, but oh, this one got pummeled by the thunderstorm, it looks like. But this is the Luscious Royale Cosmo Lantana from Proven Winners. I really love this lantana. I think it's very lush looking and has a beautiful color to it. And this is a ornamental grass from my front yard. I don't remember the name offhand of that ornamental grass, but if I can find it, I'll let you know. And then I also have the a Supertunia from Proven Winners. This was really looking battered, but it was looking beautiful yesterday. So I think it's just the rain. I'll put the name up of that Supertunia, though. I'm sure you all recognize that. It's a beautiful bloom. Really beautiful. Yeah, you can see some of the blooms have been fallen to the ground here. Quite a thunderstorm. All right, we'll just keep moving here. Keep moving. This is another container for the summer. Artist Blue Azuratum again. This is the same one that I had on right near my shed, with the curly whirly grass and the vinca vine and the blue moon punch. Oh gosh, I'm going to forget the name again. I was right. I just had to check the name again. It's Super Bell's Blue Moon Punch Calibrachoa. Really pretty. I did plant another heirloom rose. I'll put the name up of that one. That's looking pretty good, actually. I think it's kind of protected here, too. See how it's sort of protected from the spruce and the grasses, and kind of hidden in here. I think it's going to do well. That's beautiful. Love that. And another hardy hibiscus perfect storm. Oh, this is so exciting. Everything is looking really pretty. I'm loving how this is looking and coming up. Sometimes you just get a little bit discouraged with these when they just seem to take so long to come up, and that's just how they are. But now, oh, it's looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. And I guess just thinking about next year, it's planted next to something that normally would bloom on the earlier side. So this will start first, for June. I knew they always get their first flush in around June, early summer, and then it'll be planted next to something that will just take over once the rose is kind of done blooming for a while. So good garden planning on my part. Oh, I am a work in progress, let me tell you. I have learned a lot, especially in these last 3 years, 2 years being on YouTube. There's so much to learn, and sometimes you think you know quite a bit about gardening and you realize, you know what, I have a lot to learn. And I think that's the case with me. I think that I do have a lot to learn, and I love learning. I love sharing with all of you, and I love learning from all of the gardening experts out there. I'm by no means an expert, but I love to share with you my journey and explain to you what I'm learning, share with you the information that I'm learning, just to encourage somebody else. It's always so nice to be encouraged or inspired. Okay, these Endless Summer Original Hydrangea, I bet you they loved that drink of water last night. I know they were in desperate need as well. You can see some of the blooms were kind of getting a little bit of burn to them. And, right now, this isn't the ideal place for them. This tree is not big enough. It's a Cleveland pear tree to provide them with the shade that they need. I thought about moving these as well, but this one here in particular, you can see a lot of burn on that. Endless Summer, the original, but they're doing pretty good. You can see I never went in and cut down those old stems. I'm gonna have to do that. Always something to do, right? Always something to do to maintain your garden. My dogwood, the red twig dogwood. Oh, look at the autumn joy sedum. Look at that. Beautiful. Just a beautiful accent in front of the arborvitae here, and they're getting ready. Don't they look like hydrangeas right now? Oh, they're so pretty. Getting ready to put on their show, which happens, towards middle to late summer, and then they look just gorgeous, once they're bloomed, and then into the fall, they usually look pretty good. Another dogwood. I've got to pull these little tufts of grass out. I was trying to see this grass right here. I was trying to save it because they died here, so I tried to put little clumps in here. This one looks like it's doing something, but I think I'm becoming a little impatient with these. I'm probably going to switch that into something else eventually. Oh my goodness, look at all this green. I need to get some hydrangeas or something with color in here, because once these forsythia, this is the northern gold forsythia, once these bloom, there's nothing going on here but green. These are the things you learn as you go along, right? How to perfect a garden bed. Now, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you learn as you go along the importance of different colors, different textures, different blooming times of plants. You can see it's just a big clump of green here. Things to improve, right? But I do look at this bright little Brunnera. This is looking really pretty. This is the Jack Frost Heartleaf Brunnera. Looks like it's got a little bit of burn here too, but such an interesting feel to the leaf. It's like sort of like the Pulmonaria. It's like sort of like a sandpaper feel to it. Oh, look at the bark. And the Heritage Clump River Birch Tree. Looks like I can, there's some dead stems here. This is my little lime, not little lime, limelight hydrangea. You can see it's starting to bud up. Let's come over here, get a better view here. There we go. That's going to be beautiful. Let me back up and just show you a little bit of a view of this bed. This is just the corner bed by my patio here. You can see we've got the limelight on the end, the candy mint crabapple tree. Oh my goodness, look at those suckers. Do you see those suckers at the bottom of the tree? We've got to come in and prune those. Wow. And then I have blue mouse ears hosta. This is the blue mouse ears hosta here. And Stella d'Oro daylily. Blondie winter creeper euonymus. And that's backed by spirea. I'll be sure to put the name of the spirea. That's all bloomed out as well. But you can see, I think I've mentioned this before, the spirea leaf. It just has a beautiful color to it. And it changes as the season goes on. And I don't know, I think the spent blooms, they have their place in the garden as well for a spirea. Although I am excited about, I did purchase the double play doozy spirea, which is continually blooming and it does not set seed. So you just get continual color all season long. And hey, I'm not going to complain about that. I am not going to complain about that. And you can see my candy mint crabapple. These are the beautiful little ornamental crab apples that form this time of year. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. The birds will enjoy those, that's for sure. I think this tree did well with, I had pruned it in the beginning of the springtime. And I think it really did well with that pruning. Really needed it. There were some crossing branches and different things. The blue mouse ears hosta is also bloomed out, but such a pretty leaf color this time of year as well. It kind of went from a blue to a lighter green. See how the leaf kind of changed color? There's the other side of the bed there. Let's just walk up onto the patio. I'll give you a real life shot. There's our grill. And we've got a towel hanging there from, we've been using the pool quite a bit. What do I have going on here? These are some ballerina zinnia. Looking beautiful. And this is the blue grandma grass. This was my last winter sown jug that I finally decided to put into a container versus in the ground, just to let it keep growing on. And the blue grandma grass, I think it's a perennial, and it has like a little feather plume to it. Really kind of cute and interesting. Lemon cypress arborvitae. I know they like water, so I'm sure they loved all the rain that we got overnight. This is my raised bed. Looking pretty good. I do see some damage here. This one got kind of scorched somehow. I did come in and I did prune my zinnias prior to the first bloom, and you can see we're getting ready for a first bloom here, because I wanted to have a bushier plant with more blooms, and it looks like I do have to separate a bunch of them. I don't know that I'll get to that or not. We'll have to see, but I did plant, little groupings of seeds. What was it? Every every 6 or 12 inches. I can't even remember, but they'll be coming up soon. These are forget-me-nots that I have right on the end here that are just throwing out little beautiful blooms, blue blooms there. I do have ballerina zinnia here. We're going along. This is ballerina zinnia. And then it transitions into the Benary's giant lime. That'll be coming up over here, Benary's giant lime. And in the center, all the way down the center, I have the dwarf teddy bear sunflower. And I'm really looking forward to seeing those. That's from Botanical Interest, the dwarf teddy bear sunflower. So that's this whole row here. And then right along this side, oh gosh, look at this, this stain is coming off. I have some more of that. This is the Benary's giant white all the way down. I believe I did. Let's see, did I do Benary's giant white all the way down? I think I did. Yep. Benary's giant white. That'll be all the way down this way. So let me just give you a view of that. And I really love this raised garden bed. I feel like it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful statement piece all on its own. Wow, that stain really did fade. You can see. We just put this in last spring. This is from Gardener Supply. I can link it in the description if anyone is interested. I did get the inspiration from Grow For Me Gardening. They have a great channel, and I like to watch them too. And I thought their raised bed would look good with the aesthetic of my home and garden. So that's where I got my inspiration from. And I'm just going to show you all of my tomatoes and peppers that I planted. I kind of went nuts with tomatoes later in the season though. Back a little while later because it started to rain again, as you can see in here with my shoes on the patio. But I just wanted to finish things up here and show you all the tomatoes that I planted this year and the peppers. I kind of got a late start with my tomatoes and my peppers, but I wanted to get them in anyways, and I really wanted to have tomatoes this year, so I'm hoping for the best. And I gave them a really good watering yesterday, so I'm hoping that all the rain overnight didn't give them too much water. But in this container here, I've got, let's see, celebrity tomatoes. I think these two right here, this one and that one. Let me come around this way. These two, those are celebrity tomatoes. And then this one right here is aroma tomato. I've got a ladybell red or a ladybell green sweet pepper, but that's not looking too good. And you can see with all the rain, it's got a lot of water going on there. Here I have a red cherry tomato. It's looking pretty good. Here is another aroma tomato. This is another red cherry tomato. I believe the red cherry tomatoes are indeterminate, and the Roma and the celebrity tomatoes are determinate. This is a ladybell sweet pepper, the green pepper. That's looking better, this plant here. And this is another Roma tomato. And this one looks like another, this is a celebrity, and then this is aroma, another aroma tomato, another red cherry tomato. I have to get a little support for this one, and a celebrity. So I should have a pretty good tomato harvest. These containers are looking really good. You can see my clematis is still blooming, still shooting off or sending off new stems, you can see, and got a bunch ready to open up over here. And I have been fertilizing my containers with water-soluble fertilizer, so everything's been looking really good. This is an osteospermum called Pink Magic, and this is Super Tunia Vista Jazzberry. right here. Let's just go all the way around this container. And this is another osteospermum, purple Zion amethyst osteospermum. Really pretty. And you can see the diamond frost euphorbia is looking nice, and my coleus. This coleus is called Marble that can take some sun. It's doing really good right on my patio table here. Some more diamond frost euphorbia filling out and looking beautiful. Golden Dreams coleus from the Color Blaze series. That's the Golden Dreams right here. Another beautiful coleus. I don't know the name of this one. Some Creeping Jenny. I do have a Riker begonia in there. Netcha Pink Riker begonia, Netja. And I know I do have an asparagus fern. Let's see if we can find an asparagus fern towards the back here. It's kind of getting drowned out by everything. But that's looking beautiful. Well, thank you so much for walking around my July garden with me today. I enjoyed sharing everything with you. I enjoyed sharing the things that are looking really good in my garden right now. And I also didn't mind sharing, the things that aren't looking as good, my successes and my failures, because that is how I learn, and that is how we can learn together. And I also just wanted to take this opportunity to thank my subscribers. I really do appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of the love, the likes, the comments, the shares. Thank you so much. It really keeps me motivated and encouraged to keep going. And I just wanted to let you know how special you are and how much I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.